Hi Year 2, welcome to our next science lesson. Before we get into today's lesson, let's begin with a knowledge quiz. So I'm going to read out the questions for you so you can hear them. Then I want you to pause the video and have a go at answering them. Question number 1, how is your heart rate measured? How is your heart rate measured? Question number 2, name one thing that increases your heart rate, makes it get bigger. Name one thing that increases your heart rate. Question number 3, true or false? When you are angry, your heart rate remains the same. True or false? When you're angry, your heart rate remains the same. Question number 4, give one reason why it is important to recycle. Give one reason why it is important to recycle. And question 5, absorption is a property of which item or which material? A sponge, an umbrella, a stone, or a water bottle? You need to select one. Pause me now, and when you're ready, press play. Okay, let's go through the answers. How is your heart rate measured? Your heart rate is measured by how fast your heart is beating over a particular time. So how fast your heart is beating over a particular time. Number 2, name one thing that increases your heart rate. Well, just like we found out in our last lesson, exercise, moving your body can increase your heart rate. Question number 3, true or false? The answer is that it is false. When we're angry or feeling any very strong emotion, our body reacts to that, and actually our heart will start to beat a bit faster as well, so that it can help our body in those times. Question number 4, give one reason why it's important to recycle. If you said anything about the environment and the importance of reusing materials in other ways so that we can save kind of space of using trees, we can save other resources and materials that we have already and not waste things. Okay, so it's about saving what we already have, not wasting and reusing things. And number 5, absorption is a property of a sponge. Umbrellas, stones and water bottles are all waterproof, which is the opposite of being absorbing, which is what a sponge is. Okay, let's get into today's lesson. So today we are learning to examine if certain foods increase our running pace. And if we're not able to run around anywhere, we're going to use another kind of exercise to examine if foods will increase our pace, our speed. Okay, so we're going to be learning about foods that energize us and test whether food increases our running pace. Let's begin with a little question. So what do you think could increase your running pace? Now, when we say running pace, we mean speed. What could increase your running speed? And I've got 3 different options for you here. A, stretching before, B, shouting at the same time, or C, eating nutritious food. And it'd be eating nutritious food before. I want you to pause me and press play when you've decided on one, okay? Pause me now. Fantastic. The answer is that potentially any of those could really help us, because stretching beforehand will warm up our muscles. B, shouting at the same time might help us get really in the zone and concentrate on our running. But C, eating nutritious food, will definitely give us the energy to run faster. So eating nutritious food is the best way to increase our running pace, but these 2 also would help. So our pace increases when you eat the following foods. We're going to go through some different foods now, and we're going to be thinking about ones that have carbohydrates in them and ones that have protein in them. And you know that carbohydrate is one of the most important types of food that we get the most of, and protein is also very important. Let's begin with oats. Now, oats have carbohydrates in them. Not all carbohydrates are bad for you. We know that some carbohydrates have a lot of sugar in them, but lots of them are really healthy. So a bowl of oats can provide you with energy over a long period of time and keep you feeling full for longer. And it's got lots of fibre, and fibre helps your tummy to process food and digest it. So if you have Weetabix or porridge or a cereal which have oats in it, that means you're getting your oats in. The next food is bananas. Now, bananas are full of fibre and an excellent source of carbohydrates. Again, carbohydrates come in all different shapes and sizes. We have them in oats. We also have them in bananas. This carbohydrate will really boost our energy and is perfect before we go for a run, which is why we're going to be using bananas today. A scientific study in 2012 said that consuming a banana or eating a banana is better than having any sports drink before a race. So there are particular drinks that companies will sell that you're meant to have before exercising or racing, but scientists have found that actually eating bananas is better. The study also showed that eating bananas has other health benefits. So it has lots of vitamins like vitamin B6 and antioxidants, which also help our body process everything that we put inside of it. Okay, now the next food is whole grain pasta. Just by looking at this picture, do you think whole grain pasta has carbohydrates, fruits and vegetables, protein, sugar? What do you think? Tell me in 3, 2, 1. I could hear someone say carbohydrates, and you're correct. Carbohydrates are in whole grain pasta. Now, these keep you full for longer and also contain vitamins, just like bananas, so like B vitamins in this whole grain pasta. And it's essential for building muscle and improve your endurance. Endurance means how long you can go for and your performance, which means how well you can do. Okay, so whole grain pasta. So now we've looked at 3 different foods. I'm flicking between them that have a lot of carbohydrate in them. Let's look at one more. Now again, just look at the picture for a second. What kind of food do you think this is going to have the most of? Carbohydrates, proteins, fruits and vegetables, sugars? Tell me in 3, 2, 1. I had someone say proteins, and you are correct. Salmon is a type of fish and it has a lot of protein. It's an excellent source of protein, which has omega acids in it as well, which is another vitamin and mineral that we are going to need. Another mineral. Omega acids are essentially fatty acids that are found in fish oils. It's also helpful. It also helps rebuild and repair torn, tired muscles ready for our next run. So proteins really help our muscles get better and repair after we've exercised. So it's a great thing to have after you've done a run or done some kind of exercise. What about sugar? Now, sugar may give you an energy kick to start with. I'm sure lots of you have experienced when you eat sugar and you feel really energized, or maybe you call it hyper afterwards. But quickly that energy boost will die down and soon you'll feel actually even more tired. So it's not the best kind of energy. We'd rather have those carbohydrates that are in the whole grain pasta, bananas and oats. And these are just examples. You have the same kind of carbohydrates in other foods as well. Okay, now we're coming on to our task. There are 3 steps in the task. First of all, I want you to choose an exercise that you can measure. Now, you might want to do some running. So if you can, you could go to the park or somewhere there's a nice open space outdoors where you can run for a particular amount of time. Maybe you want to do, if you get to go to a park or a field, you can see how far you get to run around the park. If you might want to choose another exercise that you can measure, for example, I'm going to do jumping jacks and count how many I can do. You could do another one like maybe press-ups or maybe squats, something which you enjoy and you can count or measure. Okay, the second step is to do that exercise for 2 minutes. So I recommend timing yourself or asking someone to help. Make sure you measure it. Step 3 is going to be recover and then come back to the video. I'm going to give you an example from what I do now. Okay, so now you can choose your exercise. You could either do a jumping jack when you jump out and like this, like a star. And again, you've got to do that for 2 minutes and count how many you can do. Or you could do something like a squat when you go down on your knees and back up again. And again, see how many of those you can do. You could do a sit-up when you're down on the floor and you try and sit up with your legs still on the floor, or you could do some running, okay? So you can decide which one you want to do, but make sure you're able to measure it. Okay, welcome back and well done for some fantastic exercise. Now we are going to be seeing if nutritious food will help our pace, how fast we can do something. So this is when your banana comes in. I want you to eat your banana, the whole banana, and then wait 5 minutes. Then I want you to exercise for the exact same amount of time and compare your measurements. So that's going to be either comparing the distance that you were able to run or the number of reps that you were able to do. For example, jumping jacks or squats or sit-ups, whatever you did, okay? And once you finish that, I would like you to write down, and I'll show you how I write mine down. What is the difference and why do you think it is? Let's go. Okay, so it's so important when I'm doing science and an experiment like this that I always record my results. So I've got 2 sections. First of all, before eating a banana, and secondly, I've got after eating a banana. In both sections, I have the time that I exercised for and the number of reps I was able to do or the distance. Okay, so it depends what kind of exercise you do. Now we know for everyone the time of exercise is going to be 2 minutes. And down here as well, your time of exercise is going to be 2 minutes. Okay, now you're going to have to put in your results. So your number or distance, and then before eating banana and then afterwards. Next, I want you to answer this question. What was the difference? And I want you to answer it in a full sentence. So what was the difference? I found that the difference was, and then you're going to write in what your results show. So for example, and then you can continue with your sentence. If you found that you were able to do more reps or less reps before eating a banana, that's what you were going to write in. If you found that there was no difference, then you would find that. You would write down that in your sentence as well. So I'm not going to do that for you. I want you to write your full sentence. Make sure you skip a line and finish with a full stop at the end. The second question I want you to reflect on is why is there a difference? So then again, I want you to write a sentence. There was a difference because, and what we should find in our results is that after eating a banana, we had more energy, more carbohydrates, so more energy to exercise with a better pace than before. But if you didn't find that, then that's okay. That's still a valid result. And I want you to write down why you thought that difference happened. Maybe we didn't wait long enough before the banana set in. Maybe you'd eaten a lot before exercising the first time, and so your body was already energized. I want you to write down your reflection as a full sentence. Good luck, Year 2. We can't wait to see your results.